Hi there, and welcome to a new update on my Unity puzzle game. Here are the new features that I implemented. I mainly worked on progression in the game, and I also added a few small animations. Let's look at the previous build of the game. When I start the game, it will immediately load the first level. Now, when I solve the level, it will then go on to the next one. If I solve this one, it will move on to the next one, and so on. The player is still able to choose which level he wants to play by using the arrow keys on the keyboard. Now, if there are only a few levels, like 5 or 6, maybe this is not too much of an issue, but let's imagine you want to go 20 levels back. It is actually quite frustrating. That is why I wanted to have a nicer way to select which level we are actually playing now. Let's look at the new version of the game. If I make a new game, it will now load a level selection scene. And as you can see, there's one button here which is glowing. So let's press it. It will now again load the first level. When I finish the level, I go back to the level selection scene. The button has turned orange and I've gotten a new cable. I can now use this cable and plug it into a switch. If I press this switch again, well, you probably already guess it will now load a different level. And every single time I finish a level, I get a new cable, which I can then use to choose which level I want to play. This has a few advantages. First of all, the player can in many cases choose which level he wants to play. Also, I can add optional levels which don't necessarily need to get solved. And I can also have these like weird outlier levels. Like before, because you progressed linearly through the game, I often had like really hard levels that showed up like out of nowhere, followed by a really easy level. Or I had like levels which didn't really fit in anywhere. Now I can, for example, just put it up here on the top left, and the player can play it if he wants, or can just ignore it and move on. And this is how it looks like so far. These are all the levels that I have made, until now. This is a small scene that I created that showcases how the level buttons actually work. This guy down here is one which is always powered. That guy I can use to power new levels. Each of them, if they are plugged in, they will get powered and can be used to load a new level. If I unplug this guy, everything should get unpowered up there, which also works. And if I plug in this guy up here, then these three should get powered now as well. Okay. Another thing that I created is, you can see that each of the buttons has these like dashes up here that represent the level which is loaded when you press on it. I found this old Chinese representation of Pascal's triangle and found it quite interesting. So I just stole that guy's notation of numbers and added them on top of my buttons. So when you select a lever in the editor, it will then just put the dashes together. Like this level here, for example. If I select the first one, it will become a single dash. The second one, 2 dashes. Maybe the fifth one should be 5 dashes. And then the sixth one will have a vertical dash and then a horizontal dash in the middle. The last change that I did is I added small animations. Okay? Like the sockets and the connectors here, for example, when it gets plugged in, becomes a little bit bigger. If I plug it out, it becomes smaller. If I press the button, it would also play a small animation. And the cannon itself, when it gets pushed, will play a shooting animation. Also, the reflector, when they get hit by a ball, they will slightly bounce back. None of these changes are huge, but I think they make the game feel slightly more alive. That's already everything, and I hope to see you next time.